And I can't believe not only that Barry put her in that pipeline, lost trust in her daughter that's not even born around that time, sent her back to 2049, and basically say, don't you ever come back. That's a new side of Barry that I have never seen before. Now, to be frank, I can see where he's coming from. He was betrayed by the only family that he didn't know was going to exist in the future, because she was working with Eobard Fawn long before she finally got the chance to meet her dad. And not only finding her dad, is she finds out that Barry Allen and the Flash are the same person, and the Flash is her father. That's not the only thing that Iris kept from her. And Godspeed literally looked amazing in that outfit. But I did not know in that storyline, Velocity 9, that's what he needed. That he was going through the exact same thing as what Zoom was going through. Well, at least he's in custody and he won't be able to use that stuff ever again. And I'm pretty sure that suit won't even make it into the Hall of Villains, because he didn't do too much. Or, you never know, he might be. And weird finding in the Time Vault was the Flash ring that was given to him in episode 1 of this season, and also the original suits that was in the Time Vault, Kid Flash's and along with Iris's jacket. I can't believe the irony towards the start of around that episode. She gets struck by lightning, she gets hit by shelves, and she was lying down, passed out, and then she wakes up during Lady Gaga's Poker Face. And then went through spontaneous speed and went through a van exactly as Barry did in season 1, episode 1. The ironicness of that. And she basically had a Cisco, but unfortunately she didn't make it. Godspeed went all Eobard Thawne on her. And I didn't see the Cisco vibe coming until I saw her talking and giving code names and holding a licorice whip. The season is nearly over. I guarantee the next 5-6 episodes and the show's over. And something tells me when the crisis happens, that video is not going to exist. Because we all know with the 10th episode, well, as far as I know, but I know that in the 10th episode, we're going to say goodbye to Oliver Queen. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoyed the reaction video. Until then, YouTubers and YouTuberettes, I'm ConorArmCEO. Thank you, and OverN'Out. Well, we have the Flash, we have the Reverse Flash, we have the Rival, we have Savitar, and now we have Reverse Access. Now, that's a nice ring to it, isn't it? Now, we don't know what she's really going to do, because she looks really lost in there. She went to the Reverse Time Force, a negative, dark world that she went through, that Thawne went through when he became a reverse version of the Flash. He ended up creating this dark speed force that ended up messing up his head. And after hearing what Iris said, that Eobard could actually care about Nora, and somehow that I can believe. And hearing more Back to the Future puns from Ralph, and Sherlock, he was close for leaving, but he keeps driving back because he just found out that he's part of the family. Like Harry, like good old HR, and now he's part of that family too. And Caitlin just got her father back, but for a brief moment. Cicada .2 murdered him, but as an act of a sacrifice to save his daughter. And it was very strong willing of him to actually stop Icicle from murdering Caitlin. And turns out her icing cells from Caitlin's mother was very deceitful. Acted normal for 1 second, and then as soon as it was hitting, it turned white. Yeah. And what does she do? And what does she want with that thing? I can't pronounce it because it's a big mouthful. Is she going to be using that to combine her powers and then combining Young Grace's powers to create something? Probably to wipe out all the metas. That's a possibility. And I hope there's a way to get Nora out of that funk, because because she really needs to get out of it before she makes her first kill. Because soon enough, if she does, she'll have a real taste for it. Like Future Cicada. That's going to be a serious thing. And are we going to see the execution of Ebar Thawne? Because I think it'll be weird what's going to happen. Well, anyway, guess we're all going to have to find out in the next few episodes. So in about the next few weeks or so, the show is going to be finished, and then we have a lot to prepare for, especially the final 10 episodes of Arrow that I'm probably looking forward to when it hits number 1, and then before you know it, it's up to number 10, and obviously that's going to be around the crossover, and then that's going to be the last time we're going to see Stephen. And then we have to prepare ourselves to watch the last episode of Emily Bates Ricard, that she's no longer going to be Felicity, because she's going to be done. And I thought it was super sweet what Stephen's daughter did, sang her a wee song on set, and I thought it was really cute. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reaction video, and I hope you enjoyed the episode, and stay tuned for my Arrow reaction episode, which I'll probably do tomorrow night. So anyway, to the YouTubers and YouTuberettes, I'm ConorArmCEO. Thank you, and over and out. Right, so as soon as I watched the new episode of The Flash called Gone Rogue, was one where Nora comes back from the future by using the reverse Speed Force that Ebar Thawne created, which how he probably ended up with those powers in the first place, which sounds possible. And she decided to go into this tech lab, destroy blueprints, and then find blueprints of her own, and then recruited some of the rogues we saw in the past. Ragdoll, Weather Witch, and the Queen Bee, who tried to rip out Felicity's spine where her chip is so she can use it on herself, and then uses the mind-controlling phone that she stole from Star Labs. And she basically went up to her dad's face and said that she hated him. And her face vibrated, her eyes turned red, and then her purple-yellow Speed Force turned into red Speed Force. And then got Ragdoll to kidnap Cisco and ended up kidnapping Sherlock in the process. And Ralph was delighted that Cisco completed the Book of Ralph and was about to give the Book of Ralph to Sherlock, because now that his multiple version of his wife's girlfriend that he's now seeing, which he discovered that she's a metahuman as well. And then Sherlock was giving Cisco a hard time. He's like, "Oh, you're still not telling your new girlfriend that's your vibe," and he did say he was going to tell her when he's ready. And Cicada broke into Cicada Mark II broke into Caitlin's late father's lab and found it totally trashed. And Ralph was there with her, and I thought something was going to happen between those two, because it kind of felt like there was going to be a new chemistry building with Caitlin and Ralph, and then there was going to be a new love triangle chapter in the Caitlin along with Caitlin. I don't know why I said that. And then they were going to break into this room, which had all remaining shrapnel forged into these weapons from the old Enlightenment Star Lab satellite crash. And then this entire time, Nora wanted this particular weapon, but then half of the rogues screwed her over, because they're like, yeah, like, we're going to trust you, especially that we've got dirt on you, that we know that you're Nora Allen, and we know that your father's the Flash. And a good thing that Cisco sort of tapped into the phone and caused for the little bee minions to malfunction a little bit, and luckily that Sherlock has the master to master the art of escaping from the last Earth he was in, and able to break out with Cisco, and then he used his vibes for the flies to fly somewhere else. And Sherlock's terrible performance of the Flash, and to be honest, at the beginning, I thought it was Ralph. So like, geez, what time did he have to come back in and do all this? And then it turns out they used the Flash VR headset to pretend that it was him, and then Weather Witch did say, yeah, not like I'm going to be falling for that crap again. And then they figured out why Cicada Mark II was there, to grab the Medicure prototypes that are complete failures, and the adamantiums that she stole before, after Caitlyn's father sacrificed himself to protect her. It's basically going to be an atomizer dampening metahuman murder weapon by using the failed metahuman cure prototypes along with the atomizer and create a huge virus to infect all the metahumans from being cured, but not being cured, but murdered. And then an Easter egg popped in, which I saw automatically when he said Mirror Gun. So that means pretty soon in the new season, Mirror Master's going to be coming back and he's going to have a new toy. Just like when Snart stole the cold gun, which Cisco created, but for safety to make sure in case Flash turned into a psycho. And after hearing what Iris said about Thawne, that he cares about Nora, and as we saw when she started to flip, he tried to calm her down and basically told Nora where to go and not leave Barry, which of course I can completely understand why she was going to do that, as she'd written in her laptop. And something tells me that I'm glad that Nora was faking it, because she did look pretty convincing, especially when she was about to go all reverse Flash on Cisco. And I thought he would agree with her by now, saying, okay, do your best because I know you're not going to do it. Or he would probably say something stupid, why don't you change your last name to Thaw, Nora, since you're turning into him. So he is going to die, but he doesn't want to die with the evil reputation. He wants to help Nora stop Cicada and keep the Flash from ending up disappearing in that crisis, which we know what that crisis is. It's not going to be Flashes or Supergirls, it's Oliver's. We all know this. And it's not even that far along now. What's going to happen? It's going to be dead close for the show to be over, and luckily I'm going to be catching up. But let's not go too far, because I still have a couple more episodes to watch, and I did say in the start of this video I am going to react to the season finals and then post them, but I'm going to be focusing on the afterthought reviews first. But guys, please stay tuned with my other videos, so get ready for the next one. That son of a bitch, I knew from the beginning, at all, you should never believe Eobard Thawne, and I think that Barry was right this whole time, that he was using Nora, and it turned out throughout the whole freaking thing, Eobard Thawne had the dagger in his person while he was in jail. And not only that red speed force that they were using to torture him, not only it was doing that, it was probably fueling the dagger and then fueling him. Ralph knew something was wrong. He was on a roll. He knew something wasn't right. And as far as we know, Thawne probably told Grace from the future how to get into the present to take care of all the metahumans so he can get his payback, and especially when Nora came about. And then Nora, she still has a bit of the red reverse speed force in her, but it turns out that it was actually Grace's instead of hers. So there must have been something more than Thawne was letting on. And then Joe had the biggest decision of his life. He was approached to being in charge of the precinct while Stain is off sorting out some other business to make this Medicure happen. And Grace, Cicada 2, she was about to strike into the very depth of the precinct where most of the metahumans were in. But luckily, Cisco was able to turn it off, and then Flash had the upper hand and knocked her senseless. And it turns out she had those powers, but she didn't need the dagger. She had powers, and then when she had the dagger, she became even more dangerous. Ralph knew. He was starting to add things together, and even I knew how impressive that was. That he was like, geez, he's acting more like a detective. He was barely acting like Ralph at all. And then Sherlock approached his new girlfriend, and she doesn't want to lose her powers. She wants to keep them. And I hope Sherlock made the wisest decision by sending her into another Earth where she can be safe. And they had their first kiss, and then he did promise when all this is over, he's going to go back to her. And hopefully doesn't screw it up. Unbelievable. This entire time, Thawne was screwing everybody over. And I'm pretty sure he was using Nora really majorly. Like, screwing her over big time. I mean, was he working with Nora and secretly with Cicada 2 behind everybody's back and saying that he was on death's door, but it turned out it was a ruse this whole time, and using the mirror gun? This wasn't about saving the Flash, it was about saving himself. Unbelievable. And using the mirror gun by sending the dagger back to another plane in time so it can cause a chain reaction for him to show up back into the present in 2019 so he can be himself and escape. I wonder what's going to happen next. And also, Cicada 1, is he really there, or is that in her head? So now, not only Cicada 2 is the problem, by the sounds of things, Thawne is also going to be the problem. So I guess we better watch the next episodes and see what happens. So I'll see you in the next review.